Yes, it is. It's time for Holier Than Thou, and thanks to Jenny for that wonderful call. This is the segment, as many of you will know, where I get to bring in the week by laughing at people who choose to dish out their hot reckons in the public arena, but refuse to test their views on our show. I think we'll begin this week with the lame haka for sale story in the New Zealand Herald, in which reporter Tom Dillane went and asked a bunch of whiny academics from Canterbury and Massey universities for their hot reckons on a business run out of the Netherlands by a man named Storm. Now, Storm's business provides what are essentially team-building exercises for corporate teams in the Netherlands, which consists of teaching and performing the haka, a business model which the Herald have dubbed problematic. What's problematic about it? Well, according to Canterbury University Associate Professor of Health, Jeremy Hapita, it's a problem for, quote, a group of rugby players to cash in on something there's a lot of curiosity about in Europe, presumably referring there to the Māori culture and the haka. Hapita went further than this, saying that ideally there should be someone who descends from the Ngāti Toa Rangatira iwi, where the Kamiti haka was originally devised, when instructing people on how to perform it. And I would say to Mr. Hapita, it is a team-building exercise, for goodness sake. I want everyone who seriously has a problem with a Māori bloke making some coin off of showing the haka to some Dutch people to have a long, reflective meditation and decide honestly whether it's that serious, because I don't think it is. Also, I have to note that I love how no one had a problem with the Māori culture being used as an excuse to spend 4 million taxpayers' bucks on blasting whale music at trees, but as soon as an entrepreneurial Māori fella in the Netherlands decides to show the haka to some accountants, the Herald has a moan. Anyway, Airways New Zealand also did something silly and woke this week. Their recent doubling down on the mad grift that is the rainbow tick accreditation in this country. They put out a bit of PR this week that saw their communications lanyards getting all excited about being reaffirmed as rainbow inclusive by the Rainbow Tick organisation, which is operated, by the way, free of taxation by the Kahui Tukaha Charitable Trust in Auckland, which received almost $100 million in revenue from providing goods and services last year. So let's get that mentioned. The promotion posted to their social media sites included a picture of a drag queen in an air traffic control tower smiling at some buttons on a desk, and explained how proud they were to be on the diversity, equity and inclusion journey with Rainbow Tick. Now, Airways New Zealand operates our air navigation services and is a Crown-owned and funded entity, so of course we asked them how much money reaccreditation to the Rainbow Tick scheme cost the taxpayer and why they felt the need to apply for it. Their answer was, quote, because we are in a challenging industry and we want to have access to the full talent pool and ensure that no one feels discouraged from entering our industry or unable to bring their full selves to work, and $7,000. Given that it's presently and rightly illegal in New Zealand under the Human Rights Act for employers to discriminate against staff based on ethnicity, gender or sexual preference, I asked whether Airways NZ had any feedback from those in the rainbow community that suggested they did face any discrimination from their management at present, which would prompt the decision to be socially audited by a subsidiary of a charitable trust in Auckland. And whether the Chief Executive, James Young, would be up for an interview on our show about the decision, as well as whether the drag queen they pictured in the promotional content was actually interested in a career in civil aviation or just happened to be on site for the photo shoot. Well, as it happens, it did turn out that they just took a picture of a drag queen with his kit on next to an air traffic comms desk. And it did turn out that they had no evidence of any current discrimination or barriers to entry for rainbow people. So I think it's natural to conclude, really, that this whole stunt was nothing to do with broadening the talent pool or removing discouragement for queer people to join their business, and everything to do with wanting to put out a press release saying, look how woke we are. Also, I have to say that this whole thing of drag queens being kind of lumped in as this marginalized, victimized community is just so silly, because I'd always assumed, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, that a drag queen was someone who likes to go out dressed in drag as a hobby in their spare time. I don't think anyone was expecting a bloke to turn up to work at an air traffic control tower directing planes into their gates dressed as flippin' RuPaul. Are they? So just very strange and very silly stuff from Airways New Zealand. Of course, they wouldn't be interviewed about this whole rigmarole, and they wouldn't even put a name to their response to our media inquiry. So clearly, no one there willing to even try and back up what they were telling us, or probably perhaps more accurately, no one able to back up what they're telling us. So that's Holier Than Thou for this week. all the people who are running away and doing silly woke stuff.